Hello everybody and welcome back to Visit Fylde Coast. I didn't start talking straight away because there's a chap sat right at the side of me. We're going to go for a look round North Pier because it's an absolutely lovely day. So I thought we'd go and have a look at now and then history and heritage and today's entertainment, and you get a fabulous view off the piers as well, looking back at Blackpool. And just while I'm standing here, who can remember the steps that were here at the side of the wall before the new promenade was built? I can remember distinctively climbing up and down those wooden steps. They were always slippy when the tide had been in. I can remember in particular watching in the 1970s watching the punks sitting on the steps with the great big Mohicans and the safety pins, and they look really, really, really daring to me as a little 7-year-old kid. So this is the lovely cafe area at the back of the main building. If you turn sort of right here and go that way, that's the amusements. Ooh, it's the amusements and whatnot. So there's the little train. Do you know, I don't think I've ever been on that, which we will have to put right at some point. We'll have to put that right at some point. I really fancy go on the little train, and I'm just wondering where it is. It must be in its shed. And I'm just looking through the slats, and it's a right drop. It's turning my stomach. I'll walk on these solid boards, and then I can't see. Oh, I'm not very brave, am I? I'm not very brave at all. No, there's no sign of it. But there is a little train that runs up and down North Pier. So North Pier's been standing here for a very long time. It's 160 years to be precise since the first pile was sunk. So this seafront here is quite near to Blackpool North Railway Station, which is probably sort of round about there-ish. In fact, there's the crane look working on Talbot Gateway, so that's pretty much where the railway station is. And the spoil from the railway station was dumped unceremoniously at the side of the seafront. And the mound of soil was used as a jetty, but it got very battered by the sea. So eventually, I suppose, they got to the point where they needed to find another use for the pile of muck. And that's where the first screw pile was sunk, at the south side of the pile of soil, and that's where we are today. So this is the second of 14 piers which were designed by Eugenius Birch. Now he was the man of the moment. He was the eminent architect of the day, and he designed and made 14 other piers, and Brighton West is one of his. I suppose that explains why when you see piers on television and in magazines and things, you sort of look at them and think, is that Blackpool? They're all of the same era, and they're all of the same kind of design because they were all built at the same time. And this is the first pier that was built in Blackpool, and it's the oldest example of Eugenius Birch's, say that again, put my teeth in, Eugenius Birch work. And originally it was called Blackpool Pier, and then they had to keep, when they built Central Pier, they had to change the name of it, and then when they built South Pier, they had to change the name of Central Pier. So they kept changing the names. So it's built from cast iron screw piles and columns, and they support iron girders and a wooden deck, and the wooden metalwork underneath the deck is very beloved of the starlings. They gather in huge numbers, and the starling murmurations in Blackpool are quite something to see, actually. They gather in huge flocks to roost at night in autumn, winter and spring mostly, is when you tend to see them. And there's literally thousands and thousands of birds. And North Pier is it's the traditional heritage pier, and it's a lovely place to just come and sit in the sun and enjoy the fresh air and the view, and a lovely hour or two in the sunshine. There's plenty of seats to sit on, look. Plenty of seats to sit on. So we're getting near the end of the pier, so that's kind of a little bit about its past and how we ended up with the first of the piers. And we actually ended up with a pier because Southport had got one. And I think the people of Blackpool were a bit jealous. I think they wanted Blackpool to have one as well. So North Pier has got various... I thought I could smell paint. I'd not noticed him down there. North Pier has got a couple of really nice bars at the end of it as well. So this is one of them. There's Bloom, which is indoors, and the Garden Bar. Oh, it's here, the train, look. We've found the train. It's parked in its garage. This is an old traditional carousel. So there's Bloom and Garden Bar on the left, and this is the Joe Longthorne Theatre. So we'll have a look at that in a second. We'll have a look at the bar first. So who can remember the Jetty at the end of the pier? It was added in 1866 and extended in 1869 to make the pier, well, quite enormous, 1,410 feet long, and it was used by steamer boats. And I can remember, I'm not sure it was all of the Jetty, but I can remember there being some of the Jetty, because the fishermen used to use it, didn't they? They used to use it for, so that's the garden. Used to use it for fishing off. And I tell you something, it turned my stomach. You saw me on the video on South Pier, well, that was nothing compared to this. And the Jetty, as we're at this level now, the Jetty dropped and went a lot closer to the actual water when the tide was in. So you really felt like you were really near the sea. Oh goodness, it was awful. It was awful. I don't think I'd be keen on going on a bouncy castle there, to be honest. And it was finally demolished in 1997 after storm damage. So this is the end of the theatre. So there's plenty to do on North Pier. There's usually entertainment in the Garden Bar. I can hear music gently wafting across. I think they have. Oh yeah, it is. I thought I could hear somebody singing. I think it's somebody singing. So they have live entertainment at weekends and shows and things. Performers. Bloom is the indoor part. That's really nice in there. There's another video that we made, I don't know whether it was last year or 2020, that actually goes inside Bloom Bar when it had just opened. So you can watch that and have a good look inside. What's that? Frank Randall, 1901 to 1957. Britain's greatest character comedian. Now, who can remember him? Because I can't. I've got no idea who Frank Randall was. So the theatre was renamed after Joe Longthorne, who died in 2019 because he did so much here. So this is it back in the day. This is inside the theatre. I've been to many a show in here. These are some of the old features. This is the opening ceremony on the 21st of May 1863. Look at the steel workers in Glasgow. And this was Nelson's flagship. This is HMS Foudroyant, and it was moored off the pier for an exhibition, and it got wrecked. We've got loads of shipwrecks around here. Loads of shipwrecks. Here's Sooty, because of course Sooty was discovered at North Pier. And that's another story, but we'll have a look at that on our way back. Sooty was discovered on the 19th of July 1948 at North Pier. So just as you go into the Joe Longthorne Theatre, there's actually a museum to Joe Longthorne, which is quite nice. And they use the bar area in the entrance for small performances and sort of cabaret singers and that kind of thing. What a lovely view. I think I definitely prefer it with the water in. I definitely prefer it with the water in. So I hope you've enjoyed that look round North Pier on a beautiful June day. The tide's coming in now, and everybody's busy enjoying the sunshine. So don't forget, make sure that you subscribe, make sure that you hit the little bell for notifications, and make sure that you sign up for your weekly email newsletter, and then you'll know what's happening, all the new stuff, the events, what's on, all kinds of things from your favourite Blackpool attractions, businesses, places, hotels, all kinds of stuff. So we will see you next time from a gorgeous looking Blackpool North Pier. We will bid you good day. Bye for now.